In 2004, the Nigerian government and Ministry of Education made a commitment to free, compulsory, and universal basic education under the Universal Basic Education Act 2004. However, despite this commitment, inequitable access to basic education is still widespread across the country today, affecting the lives and futures of young Nigerian children. To address this, the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with support of the World Bank, has implemented the Better Education Service Delivery for All (BESDA program, aimed at strengthening the Universal Basic Education program, thereby ensuring universal access to quality basic education. BESDA is a results-oriented program through which the federal government intends to get out-of-school children into the classroom, improve literacy in focus states, and strengthen accountability for results in basic education in Nigeria. As the independent verification agent of this program, the National Bureau of Statistics is charged with verifying the disbursement-linked indicators attached to its results. These include DLI-2, which refers to the number of schools adopting Primary 1 to 3 intensive literacy program training in focus states. DLI-4, which comprises the total states implementing and publishing the annual school census verified by school-based management committees. DLI-6, which concerns reductions in the number of out-of-school children in non-formal and Almajiri centers and the provision of facilitators in Almajiri and non-formal centers. And DLI-7, which focuses on the implementation of school grants program linked to resumption of learners' enrollment after COVID-19 crisis and the adoption of digital attendance registers. Following the success of the first phase of the verification conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics, the stage was set for the conduct of Phase 2. The primary objectives of this phase were for the NBS as the independent verification agent to verify the authenticity of records kept by implementing schools at state level and to provide data for the assessment of the 4 disbursement-linked indicators. To efficiently gather information for this verification process, the NBS conducted visits to all participating schools for DLIs 6 and 7, as well as visits to Almajiri centers and non-formal centers. Several of these visits were unannounced in order to verify records kept by school heads. The NBS also conducted face-to-face interviews with teachers and facilitators and verification of schools implementing intensive literacy programs based on the list from UBEC. The verification exercise was conducted in all the 36 states and the FCT, which were further divided into focus and non-focus states. Focus states comprised Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Taraba, Yobe, Niger, Rivers, Ebonyi, and Oyo states. Non-focus states comprised Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Plateau, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Abia, Anambra, Enugu, Imo, Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, and Osun, and the FCT. The sample design for the verification was obtained from the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC. For non-formal centers, UBEC provided a list of all non-formal centers in operation across all the focus states, which made up the frame list for the category. For formal centers, UBEC provided the frame of annual school census, which was used as the frame for primary schools across focus and non-focus states. There was 100% coverage for non-formal centers and all schools implementing ILP in the focus states. Interviewers engaged for the verification exercise varied according to the workload in each state. A team of 2 interviewers were constituted for the exercise. Number of teams varied across states. Teams visited an average of 3 or 4 schools per day in each state. Data editors and data supervisors were constituted, and their workload varied by states as well as by zone. The editors and supervisors helped to ensure data quality across the states. A total of 64,760 formal schools and non-formal centers were visited in the focus states. A total of 6,155 formal schools were visited in non-focus states. Nationally, a total of 70,915 schools and non-formal centers were visited, and fieldwork lasted for 12 days in non-focus states and 35 days in focus states, including travel time for both the field staff, data editors, and data supervisors. More time was allotted where more time was required. Insecurity in several parts of the country, issues of kidnapping, banditry, and insurgency in Niger, Plateau, Katsina, Benue, Kaduna, Zamfara, and Borno. Also, the sit-at-home order in the southeast limited the movement of enumerators across the affected states. Flooding in several parts of the country particularly affected the movement of enumerators and conduct of the verification exercise in the non-focus states. To ensure as much coverage as possible, head teachers in these challenged areas were brought to accessible locations within the local government where their documents could be verified. Thus, a 99% coverage was achieved, indicating that the exercise was a huge success. The results from this verification exercise have created comprehensive records of over 40,000 schools in Nigeria. These records, alongside other data, will be useful to government in creating policies that take more children off the streets and into the classroom.